Hi everyone, it's Joe. Welcome to week 16. I think I'm on week 16. Let me double check. Week 16. Welcome to week 16 of my weekly vlog. Week 16. This week I would like to dub phone call week because I had nothing but phone calls this week. As far as what regarding to my transition this year, my final year in the Air Force. So let's get started. The first call this week was on Monday. Monday was a holiday. I think it was Monday. Yeah, I was sitting here at my desk, just chilling. I got a phone call on my phone. Hire Heroes USA. This is them, Hire Heroes USA. So what they are is they're a veteran servicing company. They service veterans to help them find jobs, and they partner with people and mentors. They have a lot of resources. So a few weeks ago I applied to use their services, but they were like recently promoted by someone on LinkedIn, and so they were kind of overwhelmed. So I went on their website and filled out all the information, and then like I got an email saying, "Hey, sorry, we're busy right now, but we'll get to you when we can." Monday, out of the blue, the phone rang, and it was this guy Jeff from Hiring Our Heroes, and so we talked about the different resources they have. And I told him, "Hey, look, I'm going through like several things, several different types of like veteran transition service programs right now. So what do you have that I could take away from Hire Heroes USA that others don't offer?" And there were two things that he said he can do for me. One of them is like resume services, and another one is like a year-long subscription to Coursera, which would be really cool. So actually, it's 6 months, and if I'm actively engaged, then the 6 months will renew again. So yeah, I like said sure. So I sent him like 15 pages of background, well, 15 pages of information about me from my job, like my past 5 years of performance reports and the citations from my decorations. And he was able to put it all together. And you can see right here, boom, he made a resume for me. Now, this isn't my first resume, but this is the resume that they made for me. So he was able to take down a lot of the information that I put in, and I think they're working off a template or something, because there were some things here that he added that, number one, I didn't think about, but number two is I didn't even have in the paperwork that I gave him, so I don't know if it's relatable. Like intrusion detection. I mean, some of these you can like, they're broad terms, right? Intrusion detection. But if it's intrusion detection systems, like the only thing I had to deal with that was like finding a way to get it purchased. Regulation implementation, sure. Network security, managing the people that do network security, communication security, same thing. Server administration, same thing. Managing the people. I mean, I did manage a server or two a while back, but I don't have it. It's not one of my core competencies. Then also for skills, he has wireless networks here, and then wireless and switches and routers and Wi-Fi. I managed projects that dealt with those, but it wasn't like a networking skill set. So I'm not knocking him. I mean, he he did put down some areas. Oops. Some areas he broke them down into categories that I didn't think about, like so IT project manager, that was on my previous resume that I made. Data manager, I really like this one, because I think I had records and data manager, but he just stripped off records and put down data, and which was really cool because it was able to combine the different aspects of the work that I do that deals with data. IT manager. So if you see up here is IT project manager and an IT manager. So I don't understand how he divvied that up, um, but I don't know. Anyways, this is supposed to be 95% complete, so they say. So it's up to me to tweak this out and make it work for me. When you apply for a job, you don't use the same resume. You do a targeted resume. So you look at the job announcement and then you try to massage your resume in to meet the criteria of the job announcement as much as you can. Operations manager. Oh, so this is the thing that was really this one right here. Track, schedule inspections, ensure compliance with current regulations and protocols, maintain accurate records of aircraft maintenance. Now, that's really stretching the records management part that I do. I mean, I manage the records on the base, and in turn, that means I train the people who manage the records within their organization, who in turn produce records. And if you really want to go down that thread, records of aircraft maintenance is there, but I didn't track scheduled inspections because I wasn't a scheduler. Assured compliance with current regulations and protocols. Sure, I do that all the time. Maintain accurate records. I'm not the one who made the records, so I didn't maintain them. I just managed the program to make sure that everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. Anyways, that's that. So yeah, that was pretty good. Jeff was like really cool talking to him and stuff. It was having someone who has a lot of like specific technical experience. I wasn't like the normal person he talked to, so we had to get through some of the details about my background so we can work through that. Anyways, the next call I got was scheduled, and it was with American Corporate Partners. I talked to Allie, and so the conversation with Allie was like like an interview about like what my needs are and what my skills are and where do I want to work. Just basically like American Corporate Partners hooks you up with it's a mentoring program. It's a 1 year gig. So they try to hook you up with a mentor in the job field that you're interested in. There's a quarterly goals that you have to reach or that you have to maintain. So I'll talk with my mentor and we'll establish some goals, and then the next quarter we'll go over like whether or not I reach those goals, and then and so on throughout a year. So I gave her my information and I told her what I'm interested in, like doing IT project management stuff, and like a day later she found a match for me, and she sent me an email and she said she found this guy named Bill who works for Deutsche Bank in North Carolina. Dude, I'm like really itchy right here. It's because I haven't shaved. See that? Anyways, Bill in North Carolina. So I guess these are people who put themselves out there saying they would like to mentor veterans. So she looked on the list and there he was. Oh man, my face is like really close. Let me back up a little bit. Actually, let me do this. Can I zoom out? Oh, there we go. And then we'll go this way a little bit. There we go. Okay. So anyways, Bill. That's all I know so far. I said, yeah, Bill sounds cool. He's has sort of like the same background as me, but I think he's worked in the banking industry like most of his career, if not all. He just started at Deutsche Telekom, not too long. Deutsche Bank, not too long ago. So we'll see what he says. So if he accepts me, then he'll be my mentor. If not, then we'll go around and find someone else. Also, I didn't know this, but apparently, I don't have to take the first mentor that they give, but they give you a background information about the person that they think would be a good fit for you. So the only thing is they're not in this area. So they're East Coast and I'm West Coast. So having conversations with someone 3 time zones away can be a headache because you have to schedule things that's convenient for both of you. So 7 a.m. for me would be 10 a.m. for him, you know? If it was 4 p.m. for me, it'd be 7 p.m. So it's just something that we work through. Let's see what else happened. So that was, and then hiring our heroes, back to hiring our heroes again. So I made contact with Victoria. She is the hiring our heroes contact down in San Antonio. Itchy nose. My cat's meowing in the background, by the way. Anyways, Victoria, wow, we talked for like 40 minutes, and um, so she's the head person down in San Antonio for hiring our heroes, and um, we talked about the feasibility and an option about me applying to two different job markets for the corporate fellowship program. It's doable. I guess there's people that do it, and especially if you're located in one place like me. I'm up here in Joint Base Lewis McChord outside of Seattle, so the greater Seattle area would be one market, and then the San Antonio would be the place that we would like to go to also. So what that means is when it comes down to finding a company that would be willing to sponsor me as a corporate fellow or as an intern, then um, it's just basically like doubles, I guess, because there are a lot of companies here in the Seattle area, and there's a lot of companies in San Antonio. So if a lot of companies, well, if any company likes what I see, likes what they see about me on my resume and my little description that I had to put on their website, then they may tap to like interview me, and that's doubled, right? So I heard that it can be, instead of having like 4 interviews or 5 interviews, it could be like 12 to 15 interviews. So I'm gonna have a busy March talking and interviewing. If you want to help me out, let me know. We can schedule it on Zoom. We can do Google Hangouts. We can do it over the phone. I'm happy to have you help me out, coach me. Um, yeah. So that was that. Oh yeah. Also, Victoria said, like, since I'm looking in the San Antonio area to get on this website called Veterati. Do I have Veterati up? I don't think I have Veterati. Let's bring Veterati up. I did talk about this last week, I think. Veterati. Let's zoom in so you can see it better. Um, it's like American Corporate Partners, I guess. But this is here. Let me show you like what it looks like. Okay, so once you log in, you're gonna get a list of mentors that matches your profile, and so what I did was I looked for someone in San Antonio. San Antonio. And so they list people and they tell you what their percentage of matches are for you and stuff. So you can go through and you can see if they're a veteran, if you want to talk to someone about your transition, if they're a connector. A connector is someone who's like very well networked and stuff. Someone who has access to jobs, so they are someone who's actually working in a company that has access to the job pool there. Or this is also open to military spouses too. So military spouses move along with their families whenever they change stations, duty stations. Veterati has spouses on there too, so spouses can connect with each other. Anyway, so once you find, let's say here, Armand, right? So Armand, you can click on his profile, and it tells you the areas that they work in, human resources, and then he works for Booster Fuels. Tells you what time zone they're in, and then what skills that they have that they can help you with, and then there's testimonials from people that talked with them too. And then if you want to book them, you just click this button, view availabilities, and then you could see like what available times are. So looks like he's available every Friday for different time periods. So that's, if you want to connect with Armand, that's how you do it. So I connected with a guy named Brian. He's a senior project manager at USAA. And this past week, San Antonio, actually all of Texas was recovering from the Snowmageddon or they call it Snowvid apocalypse. Big winter polar vortex came down and blanketed all central United States and took the snow with it and covered San Antonio. So not just San Antonio, but all of Texas. So they lost power. They had snow. And so if I had tried to connect with him earlier in the week, it probably wouldn't have happened because their phone systems were shot. It was really hard to connect and talk to anyone. People were out of electricity for a few days. They were cold. Houses were approaching freezing temperatures inside because there was no electricity for the heaters. So yeah, but I got to talk to him, and it was a weird connection. First of all, because I didn't call him directly. The program is like a teleconferencing program, so I dial into it, and then when I make connection to it, it calls him, and then it connects us. So he had me, and we talked to each other. He was on speakerphone and I was on my phone, but it wasn't a good setup at all because, like I said, the power in San Antonio and the phone companies, they were like struggling just to keep up with demand. So I'm pretty sure his service was like throttled in some way. So it wasn't the clearest conversation I had. And also, I was on Google Voice, which is like a voice over internet protocol thing. So as long as you have internet network, you can make phone calls. And I was connected to the base library, and that network isn't very fast because a lot of people use it too. So I'm sure that I didn't sound good to him as much as I'd like to with him either. Yeah, we talked about USAA, and this guy's like super knowledgeable about project management in San Antonio. I think he used to be a board member in the Project Management Institute for San Antonio. And so we talked about project management, talked about living in San Antonio. I told him I used to live there, I have family there, and he was like very excited about that too, because I think he wants everyone to move to San Antonio. He's got a lot of good connections in a lot of companies, and he keeps in touch with all of them. So yeah, I mean that's good. So I think I promised him that I'll send him messages every now and then just to let him know, like, hey, what's up with me? All right, so those were all the 3 phone calls that I had this week. The last one was actually a Zoom call. It happened in between all the interviews. So this week, the Air Force Chief Information Officer, Lauren Nasenberger, had a virtual town hall on Zoom. It's about 2 hours long, and she went over a couple things about our upcoming technology upgrades that really affect my career field. And so that was like the Office 365 environment and SharePoint Online. And then the second part was talking about UI UX, or user interface, user experience. She had the Air Force Chief Experience Officer come on board. The dude's name is, his name is Colt Whittall. And he talked about the UI UX efforts. And as he was talking about it, and he was going through his slides, and he was showing about like all these user experiences that were being dealt with, and trying to make how Air Force users use technology in Air Force, like web-based technology and stuff, how just making small changes can really affect like the experience for someone. It really resonated with me, especially when he started talking about different applications and doing the layout with UI UX. So as he was talking about that, I typed into the comments, wow, this is something that really resonates with me, and I think it would be great for the knowledge management career field. And then next thing you know, she's like, oh, hi, Master Sergeant Burby. Let's hear your thoughts. And then she unmuted me, and then I had to talk to like everyone in the Air Force over the Zoom call about why I thought it would be so cool. But it was pretty cool. It was the end of the session, so I was the last person that got to talk, so I felt kind of special about that, right? Wouldn't you feel special? I don't know. Yeah, so that was it. That was my week. All right, let's close this out. Back to me. There I am. Anyways, I hope everyone's staying safe out there. I know that the weather this past week has been crazy through most of the country. Up here, we actually had a very good Saturday. We went up to Chinatown in Seattle, and it was, what day was it? What kind of Pokemon day was it? It was a Pokemon Go Kanto Tour event, and we got to walk around and catch lots of Pokemon and spend lots of Pokestops and do raids with our friends from afar. That was really cool. I have a little video of a dragon in the street I'd like to share with you. Maybe we'll see if it makes the cut. Can you see up the dragon's butt? Anyways, thank you for watching, and I look forward to sharing what happens this week with you next week. And guess what? Spoiler alert, it's not going to be much because I'm just going to be studying. But who knows? Maybe I'll figure something out, all right? Okay, bye.